Hey y'all, welcome back to Knitting in Our Jeans. I'm Liz.
I'm Carolyn.
And you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as 2Liz4You, TOOLIZZFORYOU.
And we just finished eating dinner, so I'm choking. I'm CPREDMOR on Ravelry and posting as Knitting in Our Jeans on Instagram. And I posted a couple things.
I believe so, yes.
While we were away. And yes, I posted about the sweater that I'll tell you about. So, yes.
So did you finish anything this week, Mom?
I finished the 16th block. In fact, the 14th, 15th, and 16th block.
Wow.
Of the quilt. So.
Of the
Afghan.
Lapghan?
It has not been blocked. So here's one of them. Here's another one. It's an interesting design. I thought it was, they called it Tweedy, and I guess it was both mostly a texture. Not exactly replicated one side to the other, but that's fine. And then, here's the third one. Yes, cables. Very pretty. So they need to be blocked, but I have finished all of them. And this
is your assembly instruction.
Is the assembly. So it's going to be half a rainbow. Is what it's
kind of a gradient.
Yeah.
It goes from light to dark in all the colors.
Yes, absolutely. So I will be putting that together. You know, I'm going to try to put 2 blocks together this week. If I'm lucky, I'll get a row done.
Okay.
I'm not really hoping for more than that. Because I have so many other things.
You have so many other things
to do, and not enough time.
I understand.
Not nearly enough time. Do you want me to start on anything else? So anyway,
I only have 2 things I've worked on.
Okay,
I've really not worked on much, y'all.
So last week, while we were away, we went looking at a boat, and now we're trying to see if we can get insurance on it. The question is there any company that will write for a 16-year-old boat? The boat really has everything I had on a wish list. Richard's a little afraid because it has everything that I had on a wish list. He's talking about how he has to learn so many systems, and they turn to me and says, then what are you going to do? I was driving the car, but I didn't bring that up. I said, well, I'm going to learn everything that you learn about the systems so that we can be co-pilots here. Generally, he does better in figuring out our course in places where we haven't gone. Once we've been in a place, I can get there, I can get back, you know. It's like I was, what's the island with a C off of Massachusetts? I want to call it, it's Cuttyhunk. I had a student by the name of Stephen Cuddy, and I was going to call it the wrong name. Anyway, the island is Cuttyhunk. And the first year we had our last boat, it was blowing. It was sporty. That's what the launchman said. It's a little sporty south of Beavertail, which is in Rhode Island. It's the name of the point, Beavertail. Yeah. So,
is it because it looks like a beaver tail?
I don't even know, but that's what it's called. And sporty it was. It was blowing about 15 to 20, and the waves were piling up. And I was a little afraid, and so I said, why don't we go back up in by Newport? Or go home or something. I really don't want to go to an island I've never seen before. We could go to Block Island. I'm not sure exactly where we went, but we didn't go to Cuttyhunk. Now that we've been to Cuttyhunk, it's a breeze, not a problem. We have been to Martha's Vineyard. Nantucket is still a little nervous-making for me because it's usually shrouded in fog. And fog, when you're on a boat, is a little, I don't know, demoralizing because you can't see anything. People say, you know, are you looking out? Well, I could be looking out, but if it's fog, I can't see anything. So this boat does have radar, so it would be able to pick up things that our AIS did not pick up. So that would be nice. So there's many things to like about the boat. The one thing not to like about the boat is the fact that it's old. And secondarily, Rich says he looked at the front windows and they do have cracks in them. So we would have to replace the windows. You know, but that's why it's at a lower price. Anyway, we were away. And while I was away, I was trying desperately to finish this sweater.
Yes.
Desperately, desperately.
And I saw on Instagram that you did, and then you decided to do something to
I
it.
decided to frog the collar.
Okay.
So, let's see if I can find it. This ball of yarn was almost gone. It was down to a nubbin, and I tried on the sweater, and I hated the neck. So the neck has to be built up because the neck on the sweater is too low for me, for my taste. And I have to say that's been formed by teaching basketball players at college. And I don't need to give anybody an excuse to be looking down my chest, even though I know most of them don't even care about it. So I'd rather not. Thank you very much. I think we just got punked by Navionics. There we go. So I took out, oh gosh, probably half a ball of yarn from it, and I'm going to draw this in a little bit more. So I'm going to go up about 3 inches, drawing it in a bit more every inch. And then I'm going to try it on and see if it's time to make it curl over like this. I really like these kinds of necks. And I had it curling over, but it just was too low still. So I'm going to see if I can bring it up higher. I have a great, I mean, I'm going to use an entire skein of wool on this collar.
Skein of fingering weight?
Yes.
So about 400 yards.
Yes. In order to get it the way I want it.
But then you'll have it the way you want it.
I will. And, I mean, I really like the sweater. It fits very well. It's a nice A-line. But for me, I really didn't want the main focus to be on my hips. I wanted it to be up by my face. I think my face is a better thing to look at than my hips, but that's me. Would you like to talk about something else?
So I am behind on the Cryptid Stitch Along by Witchy Stitcher. So which is what I'm working on below screen. So I've got the first 2 guys done. I'm working on the 3rd one. I did do all of the half stitches for the black first. If you give me a minute, I'll open that for you. Okay. And then I'm gonna do all of the black for all of the ones that I've missed, or that I'm behind on, and then I'll go back and fill them in with the colored parts, because there are like 3 or 4 stitches of each color. Or with this guy, there's a little bit more, there was a little bit more here, but a lot of them aren't
very colorful.
Full color. They all have this frame, so it'd be nice to get the frame and the name. I like it a lot. Like, I really like it. You can see up at the top the little scroll pieces. I do still have to write the word cryptids across the top. But even though I'm behind, I'm still enjoying working on it. Much like how I'm enjoying working on the Tamora Pierce Stitch Along, but I have not worked on that in a few weeks.
I haven't worked on mine in a while. I have some Christmas presents. Yes, Christmas presents to do. You remember back in August, I think we started talking about working on Christmas presents. I'm so glad I did.
Good.
So glad I listened to myself, because I would never have finished this for my mother in time. Anyway, Elizabeth is wearing Cthulhu's on her dress. It's Happy Halloween, everybody. Squids. There are squids.
There are eldritch gods on my dress, which is fun because they also are it's this really beautiful print.
Paisley type of print.
So it's deceiving. It just looks like it's a very bright dress until you look close, and then you realize it's an eldritch god. There's
wings, there's a head, there's tentacles. So it's her Halloween dress.
It makes me very happy. I'm very happy to have it.
I did not wear a costume myself. My costume is usually Professor McGonagall with my academic robes and a witch's hat. Wearing that under a choir robe would have been like being in Death Valley. And I decided I didn't need to do that. We have had trick-or-treaters this year for the first time in Akun's age.
Well, and you just heard the doorbell ring, so you know
exactly. That. So I'm not sure how old Akun lasts, but raccoons, I guess, unless they play in the street, last a long time.
Decently.
So we are having trick-or-treaters this year. I think everybody is so excited to get out that makes a great deal of difference. Anyway, so I did work on my sweater.
Dad was very concerned that they're going to run out of candy because Mom only got one bag of Milky Ways.
Yes.
Because usually they don't get anyone.
We don't usually get anybody.
So Dad was very concerned when, even before sundown, a bunch of kids came by and had...
I think we had 12 before sundown.
Well, because I guess we had 24 in total. And Dad came down and counted and was like, "Oh no, if we have more than 12 more people, we have to turn off the lights and pretend we're not home."
So I think we have enough to last maybe another 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll see. All right, so then I've also been working on my Stephen West. I was so upset with the sweater. I decided, I want to work on my Stephen.
You're going to forego your self-imposed knitting rules?
Yes. And I'm kind of in the middle.
You're in the middle of Clue 1.
Yeah, so I'm in the middle of Clue 1. I really like my colors. I have one very bright pink. I have another one. I think they're both tits out colors. I have another one here that is a coordinating tits out color, which are bright, and the rest are grays and blacks. And I had worn my last year's Stephen West to church this morning, which is in black and shades of blue and white. And I actually wear that. And I think, although this is not as colorful as Elizabeth's, it's something that I will wear. And
I think I'm going to wear this too. I mean, I have a lot of...
I wouldn't. Yeah. So that's the difference I'm saying.
I do think I will.
So I'm going to finish Clue 1. And I'd like to get Clue 2 done this week. So that's my goal.
If nothing else, it will become a shawl that I leave at the office during fall because it's a perfect shawl, fall shawl. And, it'll be great to have to wear when the office, when it's cold in the office.
So I have finished this row. I need to do 2 more rows in here to finish this section. And then there's a third section like this. And then there's the little loopy things. So Clue 1 may be finished tonight or close to it. I'd like to do Clue this week. Clue 2. I'll get it right.
I do have to say, the loopies take a while, as so does the first step of Clue 2.
So this week, I want to finish the sweater collar and at least get part of Clue 1 done. I want to put 2 blocks together. And that will be an accomplishment. I did not finish the other sweater, the dream something, cosmic dream.
The one for Knitrino?
Yes, because I needed a size 5 needle, and the size 5 needle was in the purple sweater.
Is in the interpretation sweater.
Yes. So I'll finish the neck on that, get that done. Then I'll, go back to the cosmic sweater next week. So that's my plan on that. I do plan to get things done. I got some stuff in the mail, so whenever we're ready for that.
I mean, you all just saw my shawl. That's all I've really worked on this week.
And
I mean, I know it's been 2 weeks, but I've been busy. Work has been busy, and it's just, as I just said, the last part of Clue 1 and the first part of Clue 2 really took a while for me. So, yeah, I think finishing that was good, and I think, we're trucking along. We're trucking along.
Yes, we are. When I'm away, I actually don't
knit as much?
Get as much knitting done. We went to the Wright Brothers Memorial. So terrific. I'd never been there. So you got to see how far the first flight, second flight, third flight, the fourth flight with Wilbur went 812 feet. And with that, you really knew that this was a thing. Mechanized flight is a thing. Because the first one, they went out and came down, they split a dart on the wing. It was made of canvas on a sewing machine borrowed from one of their neighbors. And the sewing let go. So they had to, it happens, you have to work on that. They have a Braille exhibit. They have the plane mocked up in metal with Braille descriptions. And so anybody can get a sense of what the Wright Brothers plane was like and their story. They have a replicated set of 2 buildings, one for the airplane hangar and one for the cabin that they lived in while they were down at Kitty Hawk. And they would keep going back. They would go home to Ohio and make some changes and then come back to Kitty Hawk. They chose Kitty Hawk because constant wind. And I'm telling you, they're right. Constant wind down at Kitty Hawk. It was a warm weekend while we were there, and the breeze was lovely. We were very lucky to get a hotel room down on the beach, and just great views, good food. It was really lovely. We drove up to Duck. I can see why people go to Duck. It looks very New Englandy. It looks very Nantucket Martha's Vineyard. Yes. But be very careful. The waters around Duck are vicious. The riptide undertow type of thing can be very strong. So please, if you do go down there, either swim where there's a lifeguard or be very careful, because we actually know someone who lost their life in the waters off of Duck. And a guy who's 20 years younger than we are and hefty, you know, he's not the person you'd expect to have a problem. But the people were lovely. Hush puppies. I mean, great Southern food. It was really terrific. Good. And as I said, we found a boat that looks attractive, and we'll have to see. But in the mail, I got this. And Elizabeth will recognize this kind of hat because it was a hat that I had when she was a little kid.
Oh my goodness. I think I have the old one, the faded one.
I love these hats.
It's so great.
Because they're very packable. They're not excessive. This one's not excessive. I had a red one.
That's the one I think I have.
And eventually the metal in here rusts because it's a metal frame, but you twist it and it's immediately packable. I have a problem with my sun hats in that most of them are not packable, and I end up ruining my sun hats. So I'm so excited to get this. This was...
Does it come in other colors?
Yes, it came in a garden print, which I thought looked a little fey for me. And then there was another color that was not... I thought this was going to be pinker, to be honest. So this is not quite the color I thought it was going to be, but it's going to be a great hat. And really good for taking with me when we're on the fly. So that I'm very happy with. But there's more. If you remember, I talked about the Inside Out books. I didn't find, well, we didn't get a chance to go to Michael's when we were up at Rhinebeck. So I ordered from Lion Brand.
Okay.
And I now have 10 colors of acrylic. I believe that they are acrylic. In order to make turn inside out Christmas presents.
Nice.
So I believe I bought all the colors I needed. I made a list. I also have the plain black and white. I have green for making a Christmas tree, and then I think a Santa inside. It's either a Santa or a snowman inside. I have to look. So I need to get Mom's Afghan together. So if I get the first strip done, then I'll try a toy. Second strip done, I'll do another toy. Third strip done, third toy, etc. So that will spread out the making of Christmas presents. And I think that's about it. I mean, the 3 squares took time. They take me about 2 days. I look at them and say, it shouldn't take me that long. The cable one was taking forever. I don't understand why. It looks simple enough. Yeah. But maybe it was the knit one, purl one in between. Probably. Something like that. It seemed to take forever. But it's done. They'll be blocked tomorrow. Good. And then I can start putting them together. So I have 3 things that I want to do. I want to finish the purple sweater. I'm definitely going to finish Clue 1, work on Clue 2, start putting the blocks together, and then we'll see what else I can get done this week.
You're moving right along.
We have a church fair this week, so I will not be knitting on Friday and Saturday.
I know, neither will I. Well, maybe Friday.
Friday, your father and I are going over at 5.
I know,
o'clock.
because you all are
volunteered.
good retired volunteers.
That's right. That's right. Although I'm not going to be doing what I had volunteered to do, which was sew hems and seams.
Yes.
But we'll get to that. I think maybe next year.
Or in the spring, at the spring event.
Maybe the spring event, when more people are starting to look at their clothing.
You can also put it up for the auction event at the wintertime.
I'd rather make it open for the entire,
No,
entire
I know, but
community.
you could do also a promise of that sort. Just a thought.
We'll see.
But yes, that is...
I'd rather do it with the person
being
right
there?
Being there.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a lot of guessing as to exactly what do they want. Which I find...
frustrating?
Well, I might not be able to intuit what they want. And that's upsetting.
Yes.
Yes. So I got stuff done, not as much as I thought I would get done. Well, if the collar had gone well on the sweater would be done. But, that's one of the things about making things for yourself or making things for anybody is that we can change them. And I don't think that we should be afraid of changing things or frogging things or moving things or making those kinds of changes because it'll make us want to wear them more.
Yes.
I've got my nose itches. I'm going to kiss a fool.
He's downstairs.
Mine's downstairs. So I did do more work.
I say that with love.
I did do more work, but I decided to make it more of what I wanted. So I will continue to work on that sweater, hopefully finish that sweater this week, and I can show it to you. And then I can circle back around. So those are my plans this week.
Getting a sinus infection really threw me for a loop.
Well, it does. I had one.
I know.
Mine was a little worse because they gave me the steroids.
Hey, that's because you didn't go as early as I did, apparently.
I didn't. It takes me a little while to realize that this is a sinus infection rather than a set of migraines.
I think what set it off was the fact that I went to church and sang, which... clue to everyone out there, if you think you have a sinus infection, don't go sing a soprano part.
Okay,
just don't.
It hurts.
It
It hurts a lot.
Like I was crying in a parking lot trying to tell myself I needed to go get groceries because I needed to eat dinner. But it was real close.
And I get headaches like they're migraines.
Yeah.
So for me, and in fact, I've done research, and migraine headaches and sinus infections often feel very closely allied. But for me, it was the clue that I lost vertigo. I had vertigo, and that's a sign that my inner ear is being affected. And so with our allergist, he goes, losing vertigo. Yes, you have a sinus infection. Migraines don't make me do that. So, for me, I have to wait for certain clues. Otherwise, I'm going to treat it like a migraine. So,
I understand.
Anyway, anything else, my dear?
No, I'm just trucking away at my few projects. I'm trying to finish the stash organization project I started.
Oh yes, you were putting things in boxes.
Yes, I need to. It's going well. I think I have a slight issue with my spatial recognition, or my spatial awareness of the size of the closet.
Yes. Which is why sometimes boxes are not quite as useful.
No, because I thought that the bottom area was larger than it is.
Well, yes, that was my point.
So we're gonna see how this works. I think this week I'm going to really try and attack it and try and get it going.
Sounds like a good idea.
I also have to build an advent calendar for a friend because we're doing an advent calendar swap, and I have been loath. I have a pile of stuff for her. I just have to start putting it all together. And I do want to make some bags for her. So we will
truck on with that.
See how that goes.
I have bought advent calendars, some of which have arrived.
Oh my word.
Some, I think 2 will be shipped mid-November.
Ooh.
So
did you get any for yourself this year?
1.
Okay.
It's 1 that will be shipped in November.
Okay.
Yes. But yours has arrived, and your father's getting 2.
I know you told me.
Yes.
And you told me 1 arrived.
Yes. So now 2, no, both of his have arrived.
Oh.
So yours has arrived and both of his have.
So you only have one
arrived.
more.
I have 2 more.
You have all of the yarn ones, and then...
Yes, but then I also have a thing one for me, and a thing one for Cassie.
Oh, right.
Yes, a friend of ours, Cassie, we get her one every year.
Yes.
So yes, I have one for Cassie.
Yay.
That will be coming out mid-November. Believe it or not, November starts tomorrow. I don't know where the month of October went.
I don't know where the year of 2021 has gone, but you know.
I hope that we've been as productive as we can be. I hope the year has gone well for you. I hope it continues to go well or takes a turn for the better.
Yeah.
And other than that, I think we're ready to say weave in those ends. I've got ends to weave in.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next week. Yes?
I think we'll see you next week, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.